is I don't want to keep talking about the pandemic. I assure you that is a thing of the past. But that is sort of, it looks like I'm a one-trick pony, or that's my claim to fame. So I sort of falling back on that. But going back to the pandemic era, I just thought about a tagline for this novel. It's called A Match Made in Mumbai. It was written a while ago, but I've re-edited it. It takes a refreshing look at Mumbai in year 2000. I mean, not everybody had cell phone. Common sense was on the way out, and the digital revolution was on the way in. Really speaking, the life was not much different there. It's here, if you're waiting for a meeting at 6 p.m., you get a text at 5:55 saying that arriving in 1 hour. Previously, people would just come 1 hour late and you wouldn't even know about it. But there was some kind of beauty to it. There was a charm. Everybody was late. So I always used to say, Bombay seems to be the only city where everybody's in hurry but nobody's on time. So this novel happens in year 2000, and it deals with some young kids. There are 2 guys and there are 3 girls. Now, as you know, I always say that Indian parents are almost as moronic as Chinese parents. They're so involved in their kids' life. So they don't want their kids to be happy. They want their kids to be married. And they want their kids to be married to the people of their choice. So in this book, there are kids who have their own choices. Parents have their own choices. And it happens that both the parties not knowing the choices are the same. So it's a drama which it's a reach, but I would have said that maybe P.G. Woodhouse would have written. Now it is extremely difficult for somebody like me to claim to have written a novel that P.G. Woodhouse might have written. But what I learned is, like, if you are going to aspire for something, then why not aspire for the thing that is the highest? And coming back to my tagline for this book is dedicated to India ka public, ये कहते हैं ना, public है वो सब जानती है. So this is my tagline for this book now. This is a book for intellectuals who yet don't know that they are intellectuals. So the book is written in like a very, my style, if you have watched me or followed my videos, my style is simple and direct, and no bunkers, no beating around the bush, a little bit rude, and I talk from my heart, eye to eye. But here the book is written in very elegant, very eloquent, very esoteric, very erudite, very different, very effusive sort of flowing language. But the basic plot is there, and the basic plot is just, there's just too many things. And there's a guy, the main character, I mean, there are many main characters, but there's a doctor who's a professor of anatomy. He's a nice guy, but he just wants to be left alone. So he doesn't like to have conversation with people. So he would have some stock phrases. Like he would say a fast train runs faster than the slow train. And he would just say that as if it means something. And if it happens to make sense, it happens to make sense. Otherwise it doesn't. So he's the main character. He has 2 daughters and they're trying to get him married. And then we have his brother-in-law. And I can say about him that the character that I've written, that any situation, if you want to make it worse, this guy can do that. So he can clinch defeat from jaws of victory. So we have this novel is packed with characters like that. The storyline is there, and it also has a lot of witty one-liners and very complex English. So I hope you enjoy that. And we will be releasing it by book order, and it will be available on Amazon, and it will be available, I think, also for Kindle. Now, people who have followed me, I keep saying that I was educated at a taxpayer's expense. So you don't really have to buy it for me. If one of your friends tells you that this is a nice novel, you can go on and buy it. And if you like it, then tell your other friends that you liked it. And like I use the same tagline during my movie, if you don't like the novel, just tell your enemies to read it. But just tell somebody to go ahead and read the novel. So at this point of time, Parul, you want me to take any question?
Yes. So, film director, producer, आपने इतनी चीजें आपने handle की है while being a doctor. So how कितना easy है कितना difficult?
Well, I was always a storyteller. So स्कूल के ज़माने से मेडिकल कॉलेज में ड्रामा चलते थे, स्ट्रीट प्लेज होते थे। तो बाद में मैंने कहा बॉलीवुड के साथ भी ताल्लुकात थे। तो बॉलीवुड में मैं देखता था वो लोग कैसा करते हैं, 600 लोग 300 लोग इस तरफ है, 300 लोग इस तरफ है और एक दूसरे के खिलाफ काम कर रहे हैं। तो मैंने सोचा अगर हम लोग मेडिकल साइंस पे जैसा सोचते हैं वैसा अभी आपको पैंडेमिक का एक्सपीरियंस होगा तो आपको पता होगा हम डॉक्टर लोग भी सोचते नहीं है, कुछ भी कर देते हैं। लेकिन अगर जैसा मेडिकल साइंस में सोचते हैं वैसा अगर सोच लिया तो मूवीज़ बना सकते हैं। इसलिए मैंने 3-4 मूवीज़ बनाए और मेरे फैमिली ने भी बहुत एनकरेजमेंट की। उन्होंने कहा तू बना यार रवि, लोग कुछ भी देखते हैं, तू बनाता जा मूवी। तो ऐसा देखा आपने तो मूवीज़ वैसे कुछ भी होते हैं। तो वैसे 4 मूवी बनाए अब तक, चारों अंग्रेजी में है और पहले 3 में मैंने एक्टिंग भी किया था। चौथी जरा मर्डर मिस्ट्री थी, उसमें ऐसा था कि वो डॉक्टर शायद अपने बीवी का मर्डर कर देता है, तो साला उसमें मुझे काम नहीं करना था, तो मैंने उसमें दूसरा एक प्रोफेशनल एक्टर को ले लिया। मैं ही ज़्यादा उससे अच्छा काम कर रहा था, लेकिन वो छोड़ दो। तो वो अभी मूवी भी शायद OTT प्लेटफॉर्म पे आएगी। ऐसा नहीं है कि अभी भारत की जनता के लिए कुछ किया है तो कुछ बेच के रहूँगा, ऐसा नहीं है। क्योंकि एक शायर कहता है कि हमेशा हमेशा ऐसा कुछ होता रहता है ना। वो कहते हैं ना कि घर थे, घरों पर नाम थे, नाम के साथ ओहदे थे, बहुत तलाश की कोई इंसान न मिला, मोहब्बत में ये दिखावे की दोस्ती न मिला, अगर गले नहीं मिलता तो हाथ भी न मिला, ये शहर है ये नुमाइश लगी हुई है कोई, जो आदमी भी मिला बन के इश्तहार मिला। So everybody is trying to advertise something, everybody is trying to sell something. This I think a book that I'm telling you for your own good, that you might enjoy it, watch my movies. Like if you are used to my brand of humor, if you like it, I think you're going to like this too. This is in a different language. Most of my videos were in Marathi and Hindi. Means I was making them in English too, but people don't like to listen to this controversial stuff in English. And you can do Sholay, you can do Basanti, you can do Thakur in English. So this is in English, this is in a different language. But I'm hoping that somebody will consider to translate this novel into Hindi. I could do it myself, but I'm a Maharashtrian guy. And typically when Marathi people speak Hindi, you get the feel of like Dushyasana and Draupadi. With Maharashtrian people being the Dushyasana and Hindi language being Draupadi. But you know, if somebody wants to translate it into Hindi, they could do it. I could translate it into Marathi myself. So the name of the book is A Match Made in Mumbai. And you know, India's wedding season is maybe makes more money than Hollywood. There were like a totally silly couple of serials on Netflix about matchmaking. They were like too silly to even talk about it. But it had so many views because all the Indian parents and older people. Oh, okay. वो सब उनका चक्कर चालू रहता है। ये इनको कोई लड़की देखी लड़का देखा तो उनके मन में चालू होता है इसका अब इसके साथ सेटिंग करना है, उसके साथ सेटिंग करना है, उनका चालू रहता है पेरेंट्स का हमेशा। वो सभी वो लोग सोचते हैं कि नाम क्या रखना है। इसलिए एक मैंने वीडियो बनाया था बच्चों के वैक्सीन के बारे में। मैंने कहा साला इंडिया में माँ बाप ही सब करते हैं ना, क्या बच्चे किधर जाना है, किधर पढ़ना है, किससे दोस्ती करनी है, किससे शादी करनी है, कब बच्चे करने हैं, कैसे करने हैं, वो सब माँ बाप ही बोलते हैं। तो माँ बाप को पूछो ना वैक्सीन देना है या नहीं देना है। तो ऐसा मैंने एक बनाया था। तो इसके ऊपर ये है कि माँ बाप कैसा बच्चों की लाइफ में खिलवाड़ करते हैं। मतलब देखो माँ बाप अपने बच्चों के लिए हमेशा अच्छा ही चाहते हैं, लेकिन वो पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू अलग होता है कि बच्चे क्या अच्छा समझते हैं और माँ बाप क्या अच्छा समझते हैं। मेरे माता पिता भी अभी आने वाले हैं यहाँ पे, वो अभी भी मुझे बोलते हैं कि ऐसा करो वैसा करो। तो मेरे पिताजी मम्मी से कह रहे थे कि जब ये 2 साल का था तब से इसने आपका कभी भी सुना नहीं है, तो आप थकते नहीं, लेकिन उसको बोलती रहती हो कि ये कर वो कर। Any other question?
Like अपने खुद के क्रिएटिव से।
No, I think they say like that the real life is stranger than fiction.
Okay.
So we always get inspiration from real life. And interestingly, the main character, the doctor, is sort of based on me because he's very resourceful, very witty, sort of one-liner. So some characters are like drawn, inspiration taken from real life, but the story is purely fictional. I think it's almost like a farcical story. I don't think you would have seen anything like that in Indian fiction, that type of story. It's very different. Like, it's almost like if you have read Blinding's Castle by, or like Leave It to Kismet by P.G. Buddha. So that type of like a, it's like a comical drama. You might see it in a Hindi movie, you might see it in an English novel, but you would not see it in a Indian English by an Indian author in English. You won't see that.
So are you, as you just told me, you are also planning to make this book in Hindi, like to get more connection with people, or maybe like, are you planning something like that?
I would hope to, but I think like most Indians now speak English, and Hindi would be, I've never read a Hindi book in my life. Really, I can speak Hindi well, but I've never read a Hindi book. I can also speak Urdu, but as a Hindi book पढ़ने में थोड़ी difficulty होती है. So I don't know how would that go, and whether some of the humor will translate. Because I'll give you an example. There's a girl, and she asked this doctor. She said, "Tell me how an ordinary doctor would treat it." He said, "I have no clue." She said, "What do you mean? You are a doctor, right?" He said, "Yeah, but I have no clue what an ordinary doctor will do." She said, "Oh, you are claiming to be extraordinary. So tell me something that you would do that an ordinary doctor would not do." The doctor answers, "Nothing." But he says, "I would not do a lot of things that an ordinary doctor would do." So that's what makes me extraordinary. So this may or may not translate well to Hindi, or other languages. So the beauty will be in original English.
Yeah.